And good morning. Can anyone believe the weekend is already over? We're that close to Christmas as it rolls in on Thursday. Christmas Eve is on the way and it looks to be warm for Santa Claus. We'll give you all the details of how Santa's travels will be here in just a few moments. It's Monday. School is out. The kids are at home. Watch kids will be playing in neighborhoods as you go around this week. Drive a little bit slower for at least the next 2 weeks. Watch those in residential neighborhoods as we begin this. So much to do and talk about over the weekend. I hope you had a wonderful one. We'll be back in just a moment as we go now out to Collinsville. Let's get a good word for the day. Collinsville First Baptist.
Hey, Merry Christmas Eve. Now, I know you have all sorts of plans today with family, but I want to invite you and your whole family, even the ones who came out of town, to come celebrate Christ with us at our Christmas Eve service today at 4 p.m. at Collinsville First Baptist Church. We've planned for under an hour. We're going to sing traditional carols. There'll be a children's story, a message to help you keep Christ at the center of your celebration. And so I hope to see you today at 4 p.m. But for now, we wrap up our Advent season with our focus on love. Now, when it came to Christmas, love didn't send a card. Love didn't send an ambassador. Love came in person. You know, Caesar Augustus, he thought he was ordering a census, but he didn't realize he was positioning players for the greatest arrival in history. While an empire flexed its muscles, heaven was ready to move. Then in an unremarkable town, during an inconvenient journey, love arrived, wrapped in human flesh, weighing maybe 7 pounds, 6 ounces. No room in the inn, no sterile hospital, no comfort, just a feeding trough in a barn, surrounded by the smell of animals and the sound of Mary's exhaustion. This is how God chose to enter the world, not in powerful corridors, but in impoverished corners. Why? Because love must be near to be known. You see, abstract affection changes nothing. But love with skin on, love that hungers, cries, and needs, that kind of love can be touched, trusted, followed. So the baby in the manger is the answer to every person who's ever wondered, does God really care? Yes, He cares enough to come, to leave heaven's throne for earth's stable, to trade glory for vulnerability. Love didn't remain distant or theoretical. It arrived. Love moved into the neighborhood. And nothing has been the same since. Merry Christmas Eve. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that message. Right now, 58 and a high of 64 is expected today. They have cleaned the accident up that happened on Highway 496 just a little bit ago. Had an overturned vehicle that was blocking both lanes of traffic. Highway Patrol assisted along with Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. That's cleaned up now if you're coming through there. Just drive careful, whatever you do. Dangerous, dangerous as we head into these holidays. We've got so many of those stories coming up at 7 o'clock. I hope you'll join us. I've got to dig deeper into this because there's not many, hardly at all, reporting on this. Y'all remember Rudy Giuliani, who was found guilty? He was fined, and I'm not mistaken, they pried a watch off of his arm that was given to him so he could sell it to pay restitution for those that sued him. He said that he lied about the election. Now, as we go back and look at this, again, there's not many reporting on this at all. They're demanding full restitution for Rudy Giuliani. Oh, yeah. Here we go. He was charged with 13 felony counts and fined $148 million. I can't remember the two women's name that he had to turn that over to because he said the election was wrong. They have now discovered that the Fulton County has admitted that 315,000 votes were fraudulently counted. Now, if I do my arithmetic, that would make Rudy Giuliani right, would it not? He's broke. I mean, they took everything the man had. Some car, I mean, it was down to the watch on his arm that he had to sell off. Will it be made right? I don't know. But again, there's not many reporting on this. I don't have many facts into the story, but that's what I'm seeing early this morning. We'll see what we can find on that as this week progresses to get more on it. We'll go back to this fella here, bless his heart. That's just funny. I'll discuss that one with Odie. So who do the Democrats think they're going to put up to run against? Most likely J.D. Vance. That's what it's looking like. 64% say they have no idea on the Democrat side. 11% puts him in the number one spot. Gavin Newsom coming in at number two. You just ask for punishment. Kamala Harris at 5%. At 4%, AOC and the little guy that I can never pronounce his name, Pete Buttigieg. Yeah, him. He's at 2%. That's who they've names that have been thrown out on the Democrat side. All this will happen in 2 years. Y'all believe it's that quick? It is. As you look back at all this, I saw a thing as we talk about wasteful money. I was talking about how FEMA was spending $150, and don't forget this. I know JD didn't. They were spending $59 million to house illegal aliens in luxury hotels in these larger cities. Do y'all remember that? While they kicked 3,000 Americans from their hotel rooms in the dead of winter in North Carolina. Americans. Y'all remember that? North Carolina just did not get taken care of during all that. Still upsets me. Let's see what else is happening. I didn't realize this. California. Do you remember back when COVID hit? The federal government gave each state X amount of money to help get by. Every state except California has repaid that to the federal government. Who's in charge of that? What's his own name again? Oh, Newsom.
Wants to be president.
Yeah, he does want to run to be president. Huh. Let's see what else has happened here. We see that, and this could be a good cause, a great thing for Americans. One of the top things beside your electric bill is going to be your medical bills. And in some households, your medicine costs as much as your electricity does, sometimes even more. 9 companies have signed with Trump to reduce the price of drugs. We should start seeing a difference before long. This is wonderful. They had wanted me to take something, and I forget, it was like $900 a month for one little bottle. I can't pay all that. We've got other bills that got to be paid. The $2,000 for medical insurance. Yeah. My, oh my. The Chicago Bears. I think the first time as a kid I remember that was Hank Jr. had them in one of his videos. The mayor of Chicago almost in panic mode because they said, we may move the stadium outside of the city. That would mean they would lose all of that revenue.
Yeah.
It's because of crime. Things are out of hand in Chicago. Will that happen? I don't know. But the mayor is the one put it is in meltdown mode. Maybe they'll get that worked out. Colorado. I remember them talking about building this. Now, I almost jumped to a conclusion, then I realized the rest of it. And it is a good thing because wildlife, how many accidents do we have that involve deer and things that walk out in front of you? In Colorado, they built basically a bridge. It's a gateway from one side of the road to the other. And on the top of the bridge is nothing but dirt so animals can cross. It hadn't been used really yet because they hadn't began their migration. It's a good thing, I think. It's just someone trying to tell the deer where to go cross. It's like those signs. I remember the woman who called.
Oh, man.
What was that? Was that John Boy and Billy or Rick and Bubba that woman called it?
John Boy and Billy. No, it wasn't. It was another.
Somebody else.
Something like that. But
and it could have been a prank call.
No, it wasn't.
It was a real deal.
It was a real deal.
Where a woman called in and complained to a radio station. This was years ago. That the deer were not using the crossings where they put the signs up. And she was serious.
She called back in when she realized what it was.
The duh moment. Let's see here. And this is just such a controversial subject. Assisted suicide. They're making it legal in some states and in some parts of the world. This doctor that invented the pods. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about? kind of like a capsule you get into. He's invented something else to go with this. It goes around your neck, and you push a button, and they claim it knocks you out first before it takes your life. Candace Owens. Now, Candace is primarily, am I not right, Odie? She's on Christian faith to begin with?
Yeah.
Well, she fell off the train over the weekend. She lost her temper. Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
She basically called him a midget and used the big word, the big F word on him. Said she had had enough, and she called him a little midget on his donkey, and then called him a blank, 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 blank. She's in a different world right now. She's mad about something. Bless her heart. Speaking of the Bears, they won. One final throw, and they won in the last seconds of the game. Congratulations to them.
Good shot.
Let's see here. And I try to find, I was pausing there because I was trying to find the words to put this. Now, I'm sure that since time, politicians may have been a little dirty or done whatever they could to gain office, but to the American public, they would come across as wholesome, would they not? And ask for your vote, show their family. Nowadays, they just really show their true colors while they're running. And sadly enough, there's enough people out there sometimes in these larger cities to put them in. A Democrat candidate for Senate, her name is, in Michigan, is Mallory McMorrow. She claims in public on film that she wouldn't be able to stop hurling cans at Amy Coney Barrett and Brett Kavanaugh if she saw them in public. Now, is that not a threat against the highest Supreme Court? Okay. That's what she said. You need to be aware of that wherever you're from. If you're from Michigan, she did say those. We've never had anybody from Mississippi say anything like that, but thought you should know. Can't they do something about this? We go to Columbus, Ohio. I've passed through Columbus before. Nice little city. They figured out where ICE was staying in hotels. They filled the parking lot up, turned music up, blew horns all night to try to keep the ICE agents awake so they can't do their jobs. Check the crowd, see who's in it. This shocked me as I read this morning. I think most of Americans have heard of Jim Beam. The thought of Jim Beam pausing shocks you, and that's what's happened. At their main distillery, January 1st, they're going to pause filling up the bottles for a little while as they count, as due to the tariff, they said. It's not being exported to other countries like it has been, and they have a lot in stock, and, well, they're taxed on what they have sitting. So they're pausing production for a little while. They haven't said that they're going to lay anybody off yet, but they are pausing production at their main distillery. The other two will keep going. Really didn't think I'd hear that one. Wyoming GOP Senator Cynthia Loomis announces she's not going to be running for office again. She'll be retiring. Be a lot of people after that one, I'm sure there. I don't know what this is, and maybe parents already do, but I've got to do some studying, reading into this to figure out exactly what it is. The network 764. Anybody ever heard that term? Apparently, it's a network, it's a group that is, I guess what you'd call catfishing on the black internet. And they're really putting out chilling warnings about what this group does, of how it tries to get children attached to it, and they teach them to do bad things in America. Again, the group is 764 network, online network 764. Bad folks. Make sure your children, grandchildren stay away from whatever this is. Again, we'll learn more about it. This was my first that I've seen it. In jail it is. Biloxi, Mississippi, the woman that went in with razor blades to Walmart. She has been arrested and taken into custody. Her name is Camille Benson. She's 33 of Texas. She's been charged with attempted mayhem. Her bond is set at $100,000. Now, what the real reason she done that is, I don't know. Is she just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? I'm not sure. is bad either way. We hadn't seen stuff like that since those Tylenol days. Y'all remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Where people would still, why would you want to do bread that way? There's no way to protect bread from people that want to do harm. We have to check that out before you buy it and get it over a counter, enclosed glass. It's just driving expenses to the hilt. Guess who is endorsing J.D. Vance for President of the United States in 2028? It's a big one. She's got a lot of followers at this point. Erica Kirk has endorsed not Charlie, J.D. That's pretty strong for her to endorse him. That'll be here before we know it, won't it? One of the last remaining Pearl Harbor veterans has passed away. I believe he is the oldest. His name is Schab, 105 years old. He died over the weekend. Condolences to his family. What a sad day for us as we're losing more. There's very few of those guys left. As we told you when it happened that most likely Donald J. Trump would fire up some aeroplanes and go visit our friends in Syria. He done just that. A little more than 70 locations. They went to visit ISIS and left them a present. It may not be the last time they go visit. If you'll remember, they killed 2 of our soldiers and also an interpreter. He vowed revenge, and he has done just that. Ford. Maybe you've got one of these hybrids, maybe you don't. They're recalling 270,000 electric hybrid vehicles due to rollaway risk. Check your local Ford dealer. They'll tell you if your car is one of those, or truck. You can give them your serial number. You can call them up. They'll be glad to tell you that. They can look it up quickly if you own one of those. Now, I really didn't think this was going to happen. I saw the headline, I read it, and I thought there's no way that they'll let this happen, but I guarantee you this. The next time a new group moves into the White House, they will have bucket trucks lined up to go handle it. The Kennedy Center, you know what I'm talking about, for performing arts? They've renamed it. It's called the Trump Kennedy Center now. And I thought it was, even though the board passed it, which Trump put in there, would take a little while. Oh no, over the weekend they're already putting up letters all down the side. I can guarantee you that once another president goes in, this is the Democrat persuasion, that name will be changed probably pretty quickly. But for now, it'll bear Trump's name. It'll bother him for a little while anyway. Oh, yeah. But do you not see that happening?
Oh yeah, they gonna try.
Bucket truck, bucket truck. Mm-hmm. This is good news because, like it or not, maybe you don't use it, but it is useful, and so many Americans are on it nowadays. TikTok. They have struck a deal for it to be controlled on this side of the pond by U.S. investors. It's good. There's a lot of people that are on that. Use it to support their families at this point. It's amazing how Americans watch, isn't it? Yeah. Rochester, New York, we had 3 police officers caught off guard and shot while responding to a domestic call, over and over and over. And I tell you, this time of year, even here, locally, I cannot tell you the domestic calls that our officers are responding to. Arguments after arguments. Family can't get along. That's because the weather has been cooler and everybody's cooped up inside. Then they realize that she's not really a sweet thing after all. And they commit to arguing and yelling at each other. We'll be right back with your forecast. So many more stories to tell you this morning. Y'all don't go off.
On a hot day chasing crime in Meridian, to make a man thirsty, there's no better way than an ice-cold Coca-Cola to quench your thirst.
Or an ice-cold Diet Coke if you prefer that flavor.
No matter where you're at, stop by a local store and support that store and Meridian Coca-Cola. They're supporting us every day.
The Scotty Ray Report studio is sponsored by Environment Masters, providing hassle-free heating and cooling, plumbing, and electrical services since 19...
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Welcome back as we get into our forecast. I was trying to hit a button and I didn't do too good, did I? Let's get into the forecast now. As we pull up our record highs and record lows today. 1990, it was 78 degrees. We're 10 away from that. We're at 64 today. 1989, it was 8 degrees. I think I was working radio at night and doing a milk truck during the daytime. Woo, that was chilly. As we look, today's high 64 in Meridian. We'll see some patchy showers to the west of Meridian there. 20% chance today as we look at this. 64 Philadelphia, Columbus, and Louisville. We'll see about 62. By the time we get to the state line there by Iuka, Corinth, about 60 is what we'll see. Down the river we go at 67 and warming up to 72 at Vicksburg and even warmer in Natchez at 74. Wow. It'll come our way, don't worry. As we look at tonight's low, 51 in Meridian, 54 Philadelphia, and you'll see that all the way up 15 toward Louisville to Columbus. We'll see 54 around the Air Force Base and even over at Mississippi State. By Oxford, we'll be warming up to 56 and 58 there at Tunica. As we come back down, 56 in Vicksburg and 56 as well in Gulfport. Not much of a change there all the way from Meridian to the coast, is it? Over in Bama today, we'll see 64 Demopolis, 60 in Burmaland, and 62 there in Auburn. That's what we're expected there from the National Weather Service. As we look at this hot weather, look at this just to the west of us, starting to ease into the delta, that warmer weather, which will drive the temperatures up to 76 Christmas Day. All right, let's look at that 7-day forecast since I spilled the beans. 64 today, up to 74 tomorrow. By Christmas Eve, Santa's riding in at 75 degrees with a low of only 53 for Rudolph that night. Christmas Day rolls in with great flag football out in the yard. 76 for a high, only down to 56. Return Day turns out to be good for you shoppers. 74 and a low of 58. And I'm sure there'll be some sales somewhere as closeouts. Saturday, look at this. That's right at 80 degrees in December. 77 on Saturday, y'all. Down to 54. We're still at 70 on Sunday as we roll through January the 5th of New Year 2026. Y'all ready to write that on your checkbooks yet? Oh, wait a minute. You don't do that anymore, do you? As we'll see that New Year's Eve is a high of 53, low of 36, and sunshine. It will be perfect. As we move into January the 1st, showers start to develop, a 35% chance of showers on New Year's Day. By the 2nd, we'll increase that to about a 50% chance of showers, and then it lingering there for 2 or 3 days. Highs will be in the mid-60s and nighttime lows in the 40s as we head into 2026. Now, here's what's happening with our fishing forecast today as we go to our friends at Parker Wholesale. They'll take care of you there. Major times to fish today will be this afternoon around 1:12 to 3:12. Not bad there. You've got an hour time or so here in the morning from 8 until 10. It's a minor time, not as good as this afternoon, but well worth trying. Sunrise happened at 6:52. Let's check out this deer hunting calendar brought to you by Wimberley Taxidermy. As we get into hunting season today, it says it's good. South-southeast wind 5 to 10 is what we're counting on. Major times to hunt today will be 1:10 to 3:10, close to the fishing calendar. As we look at other times, 8:30 to 9:30 this morning. And sunrise rolls in at 6:52, sunset at 4:54 this afternoon. Not a bad day. It's good. Let's go back to live radar and take a look and see what we've got when it comes to everything on radar. Let me scroll back. I got out of hand here. As we roll this, we got a lot of fog to the south of Meridian as we go to Doc's Toyota Radar. Look at Natchez, Mississippi. Hard to see that Mississippi River Bridge with all of that fog rolling in from Alexandria, Louisiana. Lafayette has a bunch. Even Macomb into Laurel is affected by this. Now, this fog advisory is going to carry on till about 9 o'clock for the southern portion here. Waynesboro not in it, but just to the west of there, all that Laurel, Hattiesburg area. As we look at the rest of the state, nothing going on. A shower or two rolling through Biloxi to Mobile this morning. Nothing hard yet, but it is some showers there if you're going to be in that area. As you back out to take a look, up in Indiana and portions of Toledo, Ohio, getting snow this morning. Look at that. Syracuse getting a little bit as well. As we look at Milwaukee, they've got snow. And as you get over Nebraska, looks good, but you get into Billings and these areas up in here, whoo, look at all of that. Montana has a lot of snow, and even back into Seattle, Washington, a few flurries this morning as we look at that. Showers in Nevada and a lot of rain out in California. That kind of sums it up as we're starting our day to see what happens there as old St. Nick's get ready to head our way. Already 6:55. Our coffee's rolling. I hope yours is too. A lot of stories. We had a great time yesterday. We'll tell you all about it here in just a moment. Let's see. I had a question about Florida. Look at Florida down here. It looks great. I didn't go down there, did I? There you go. Fort Pierce, all of that area looks great. Tampa, nothing going on there. Quick look at weather. We'll be back in just a few moments as we begin this day together. Thank y'all for joining us. Stay tuned. The Scotty Ray Report kicks off at 7. Scotty Ray and Odie.